After playing a little bit of Classic today, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you one thing that you will learn with age is that there is nothing wrong with being wrong, so long as you can learn from it. And that's something that I am freely capable of admitting, is that, okay, I enjoyed playing Classic. I no bards, no, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I enjoy it. I'm not going to lie, it was a lot of fun, but I am a retail kiddie, and I think I always will be. There's too much that's been added, and personal development as a character and everything else that my guys have gone through is just, I will always be a retail guy. But that's not to say, and I said it at the very beginning of the video, you should be able to say, yep, I hold my hands up guys, I was wrong, and I feel comfortable enough to say that, is yeah, I was wrong. There is a place, I think, in WoW for Classic, without a shadow of a doubt, and I think, more importantly, that Blizzard should be big enough and mature enough and in touch enough with their audience, with their fans, that they can learn from this. It is very rare in a game's life cycle that it gets to go full circle. A lot of games start a certain way, whether it be good, whether it be bad, and they have various decisions, and those decisions can either make it better or make it far worse. But that decision is in concrete, it is set. And for good or for bad, it can never go back. WoW is in a very blessed position that is now bringing out its original self. And it's done a lot of things since then that has changed the course of what we now look at as WoW. I mean, the biggest one will probably be the talent trees. You know, Cataclysm, we brought in this solid fixed talent tree that you don't spend points in. Very much different from Classic. Why can't we go back and say, okay, look, why don't we have a talent tree whereby, yes, you can put points in everything. There's no point in having these redundant points. There's no point saying that, well, look, people are just going to go on WoW Head, they're going to go on Icy Veins, they're going to pick the talents that suit them anyway, so we don't need all these excess ones. But have the current WoW structure, but I can pick, I get a point each level. Also, the amount of points you've got dictates the amount of levels we actually need in WoW. We don't need 120, we don't have 120 points. But I should be able to go, ooh, I want to be doing dungeons a lot on my mage, so I want to try and get as quick as possible to Frozen Orb or whatever. I want, you know, I want some form of AoE. And I can open up that talent tree every now and again. I go, oh yeah, I'm going to get my next point, I want to be putting it in there, and I get that, and I want to put it in there, and I get that. That's fantastic, that's good. I'm engaged. That's something I really miss, and it was actually really exciting to play Classic and to have that feeling again about, okay, where's my next point going? And it's almost an imperceivable change on certain abilities, but it's just the fact that I'm making that choice for my own character. It brings back in an element. Sorry, I apologise. It's really late here while I'm doing this. I'm trying to be quiet as well. My missus is asleep in the other room, so it brings in an element of that RPG that's missing from current WoW. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. The fact that we've got bandaging, the fact we've got to sit and cook food to eat, the fact that I have to feed my pet to keep him happy, I have to watch my arrow counter and potentially, you know, when I go to a settlement, I'm buying arrows because I don't want to be out in the wilderness and run out. Now, yes, certain changes do make just life easier. They're not having to worry about arrows. That's fantastic. I'm not wasting money all the time. Things like that. I get that. I understand that. But when you have things like that to worry about, when you have a lack of money, you are literally, you start out WoW as if you are a peasant, a peon, a nobody on that road to adventure. Potentially, you see, back when I used to play vanilla, I remember being in Orgrimmar, and I'd be on my way to the auction house, or I'd be, you know, browsing a gun or a whatever, or a crossbow that I wanted from a hunter, and I'd look, and 3 or 4 characters would ride by, and they were in a certain guild, and you were just like, wow, they had the best gear on, they look badass, and I felt like this insignificant, as I said, peasant character, but I knew I was more powerful than I was 5 levels ago, 10 levels ago, and it meant I knew that I could head in that direction. I could eventually be somebody riding through Orgrimmar and having, you know, people turn around and look at me and go, "Oh my god, that guy's amazing! They've done the hardest content. That's fantastic." And that was true progression. That felt like my character was becoming stronger and stronger. Not just I had to blitz myself to end game so that I could do M+ and pug some raids. That's when I talk about the soul of the game. That's what I talk about, and that's what I mean is missing in current WoW. That soul, that spirit. And as I said before, WoW is now in a very blessed position that it's come full circle and it's now able to learn from itself. It's able to look at what it did well, what it did right. And yes, I am not saying by any means that Classic is definitive and that current WoW is awful and that there was nothing wrong with Classic, or with Vanilla that Classic is obviously based on. Yes, of course there's things that were wrong. There's things that are wrong with both. But if we can learn from one to enhance the other, and vice versa, then it can only make this game better. It can only make it better. And that's all any of us want. At the end of the day, it's all any of us want. In terms of going forward with Classic, very much so. I will be partaking in Classic. I'm hopefully going to join a decent sized guild and do all the things that one does when one plays Classic. But mostly, I'm looking forward to just being this lowly orc soldier and wandering through places like Stranglethorn Vale and just risking my life and having to bandage and having to cook food to stay alive and to slowly become some mighty orc warlord that can take on anything but has had this long hero's journey, for want of a better term. And that's all I'm after, is that hero's journey, and to feel like my character has earned the position he's in when he's in all of his badass gear. Doesn't feel like that right now. I said in a video earlier on this evening that my character just dropped into the middle of Najatar, killed everything, and then flew out again. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for retail and our new little project. I'm also very excited for Classic, more so now. But I hope you'll have an amazing rest of your evening, what's left of it. And I'll catch you all tomorrow when I'm probably slightly more awake. Have a good one, everyone.